This review has been brought to you in part by MainIrishAirsoft.
Hey, welcome back to Oddie's Airsoft. We have another review today. We're looking at the STI LawMan. This is a 1911. This is identical to my World War II 1911s that I use. Difference is mine is a green. My 1911's a green gas. This one is a CO2, and it takes probably about the guts of 25 to 30 BBs in the mag. And the great thing about CO2, especially in winter time, is it has a bit more kick than green gas. Now, we do run into problems in summertime. We have the issues in summer of CO2 mags can tend to run the guns a little bit on the hot side because, you know, the heat and the CO2 just kind of fires the BBs at a higher rate. So you've got to be careful of that. And in fairness, a lot of the sites are beginning to check on that. Now, this has all the usual features of the standard 1911. It has the safeties, it has the safety on the actual dovetail there, on the beaver tail, so that you can't fire. But I have to say, it's got a nice bit of kick off it. Look, we've got a target downrange here about 25 yards. That's about the engagement distance of a pistol. It's probably a little bit further than most people will have a go with a pistol. And, you know, look, it's hitting its target, no problem. There is sort of a very different feed here, a nozzle here, that I haven't seen in any of them before, certainly not in my green gas 1911s. That may be because it's a CO2 version, and that's what I would probably say it is. One thing I was worried about, once I heard it was going to be a 1911 made in with a CO2 mag, was that the actual pistol grip was going to be too big for my hand, because I really don't like CO2 guns, purely because with the canister and everything inside, it just pushes out that pistol grip and it makes it uncomfy in my hand. I much prefer the sort of thinner, slimmer green gas versions. That said, it's not uncomfortable, and they've done their very best to keep it as thin and as ergonomic as they can, and that suits my style of gun. I love 1911s. I've always loved 1911s, and the build quality of this is superb. As I said, it's made by STI. STI, we've reviewed a huge amount of their guns at this stage, and you know what, we haven't been let down once with them at all. You know, they're faultless. And one thing I will say is, and it seems to be a big problem with the mag release, it sticks out quite a bit, and the mag release is just here, and it sticks out so much that if you actually are wearing it in a holster, what can tend to happen if you move in a certain way, it can accidentally bump off that and the mag will fall out. So I would use some sort of lanyard onto your mag itself, or you could use they're actually designed to fit around it, the kind of mag holders that clip on and velcro onto your actual pistol grip to make sure you don't lose that mag. All in all, brilliant build, great CO2 version, and I have to say I'd be very happy to rock out with this.
Following on from Jerry's look at the STI LawMan, which to me looks more like a classic 1911 design, here we have another pistol from the same stable. It's the STI Tactical X. What makes it tactical? I don't know. The chrome barrel, chrome hammer, chrome pistol grip, and maybe rails here to fit an accessory if you want. Personally, you know, as you all know, I'm not a huge 1911 fan anyway, and I much prefer, if I'm going to use a 1911, I prefer it to be a classic design. Okay. Now, one thing that is slightly different, I'm not sure if it applies to the other STI that Jerry looked at. Right. This particular magazine is a CO2 mag. There's also a green gas mag available for this gun as well, so you could use both.
Sorry, I forgot to say it to you. It ships with the green gas, but the CO2 is an optional extra that you can buy.
Yeah, thanks for the heads up, Jer.
Start again.
Right, so following on from Jerry's look at the STI LawMan, which to all intents and purposes to me looks more like a classic 1911 design, here we have another pistol from the same stable, which is the STI Tactical X. What makes it tactical? I don't know. Chrome barrel, chrome bowl cover, chrome hammer, chrome trigger on the rails to allow you to fit an accessory. I don't know, it's moot. One thing I do like about this gun compared to the standard 1911 is the sights are nicer. The high-rise sights, it does, for me anyway, it makes it easier to get a sight picture. Now, this gun ships with a green gas magazine, but the nice thing is there's actually a CO2 magazine available as an optional extra. So here we are in mid-February, it's cold, green gas isn't going to work as well, certainly in Ireland, so CO2 is a good option. It won't necessarily be the best option for summer because your gun can run hot, but for Ireland and other colder climates, CO2 mags are an excellent idea for a GBB. So I'm guessing that the internals of this particular piece are very similar to the LawMan that Jerry used. Certainly when you slide it back, you notice there's the same red feed nozzle. I presume it's got a lot of similar components inside. So we'll have a crack and see what it looks like. So nice crisp action, good blowback, but then you'd expect that with CO2. I love GBBs. They're great fun, very realistic. Now, one thing that did surprise me actually, they put a brand new bulb into this, and maybe it feels like it's losing power a little bit sooner than I'd expect, but maybe that's due to the cold weather. CO2 is better than green gas, but it's not completely invincible. So yeah, good option. It looks the part. If you're into sort of more modern 1911 variants with maybe a more tactical element to it, then the SDI Tactical X is definitely worth a look. Performance seems pretty good. I've been firing at a target about 25 yards away. Once I got zoned in, I was hitting it pretty much every time. The target itself is small enough. It's about 2 feet by 18 inches. So yeah, it's a good alternative. I'd say not for me, but it is nice. It is very nice indeed. Now, I noticed that the grips on these are Tanyokoba, which is a name that I'm only familiar with from their rifled airsoft AEG barrels. So this one is a Tanyokoba pistol grip, which is a nice touch. If you're looking for something a bit different, it is a nice touch. Now, another thing I would say about the grip is that because the magazine design is slightly different on this one compared to the SDI LawMan, the grip is a little bit thicker. It is a little bit chunkier, and for a guy with small hands like me, it just feels a little bit uncomfortable compared to a more traditional, slimmer pistol grip. I've always been told I have Glock hands, so yeah, I've never been a big fan of really thick pistol grips, so just be aware of that when you're having a look at it, okay? But a nice piece, well executed, and looks nice.